semester?
I wouldn't say it's a normal semester. I wouldn't normally take a business class. That's not really my thing. It's not my jam. My dad does international business and my brother's a business major, but it's not really like my cup of tea.
I
The only
forget what your major is.
I'm a communication major. But I'm taking this class because my cluster is human resource.
Right.
And for some reason, I need a business class for human resource.
Right.
Don't know why, but whatever.
Have you taken the exam yet?
No, have you? I'm so afraid.
There's a lot of good things about the exam, though. Open book, open note, open internet.
I know, but that just means it's going to be really, really hard. Like if he's giving us that much, that's how you know.
I took it.
How was
You
it?
Did? Yeah, I can't really say anything about it because
sure, of course. Was it hard?
It wasn't terrible.
Okay.
It took me about an hour.
Okay, that seems good.
Do you feel like you did well on it?
I know my score, but I don't know if I can like share or not because
I mean, you can tell your score, you just can't say what's on the test.
I suppose that's true. So I got an 88.
Oh my gosh, good job. I kept putting in like what I needed to keep my grade, and I was like, if I really fail this, if I get a D, how badly does that change my grade? And then I was like, oh, I can't get a D.
Give us just a little. The study guide is going to be very helpful, or like give us just a careful hint. Can you do that, do you think?
She probably can't. I would say no. Yeah. I would say that if we have a study guide, it's probably for a reason.
Yeah.
But also we have like the internet and
I know.
So good. I mean, it probably will take some time. I wasn't planning on taking it until tonight just because I still am not finished with my study guide and I really want to make sure that I have everything in it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'll probably like start it at like 8 p.m. because I'm going to study for it all day today and just
good for you.
But I noticed, well, let me share my screen. Where is it?
Sorry, really quickly, am I recording or not start recording?
I already started recording, so
okay.
We're good. I don't see where it says to share my screen now.
Down low, straight at the bottom?
It's not there where I'm recording.
Oh, do you see the little dots where it says more?
No. Oh, I found it. Okay. So, over here, let me go to it. So, share. So I noticed that if you go to the modules for this week right now,
yes,
there's this little thing right here, Appeal Unit 1 exam.
Yeah, I saw that yesterday.
And so I think you can do up to 5, and you can it's like a court appeal where you state your answer that you thought it was, and you give your case as to why you think it's that. And you can actually get the full amount of points if you make a good case.
That's
so
awesome.
We did that in my ethics and legal issues.
Are you gonna do
I tried to not. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, Courtney, are you happy with 88 or are you gonna do it?
I'm gonna do it because I want at least a 90.
Love that. Good for you.
You're so good. I'd be like, oh, an 88. Wow, I'm so smart.
But yeah. What were you going to say about your ethics class, Catherine?
Oh, I was just this class is really similar to my ethics and legal issues class that I took. And I tried to get this substituted for that class, or I tried to use that class substituted for this class. It's so similar, but BYU Idaho said that it wouldn't work. Even though my case was really persuasive, they said no. Because I copied each section, like each course details in like the registration, and I highlighted the exact phrases in each section, and I was like, literally the same. Idaho was like, no. But anyways, it's okay. It's okay. Unless I fail those classes, and it's not okay, and I'll be so mad.
How did you do on the Amicus, whatever?
The Amicus Brave.
Mine hasn't been
Uh,
graded.
Yeah, I don't think
Okay.
I've got a grade on it.
Okay.
Mine hasn't been graded, but I'm kind of afraid because, like to write it, it looked like you copied and pasted like the page of like, oh, this is what the case study is. So I like copied and pasted that, and then it said that I had 70%
Turn
uh,
it.
For your
plagiarism.
yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, no, I didn't.
Mine
whole
says
first-
that I have 25, and I'm just like, no, I just
Mine
copied
has
the
70.
quoted the book, and that's it.
So I did that too, but like when I went and looked at the oh my gosh, now I'm afraid I did it wrong. But when I looked at it, it like the example that was given,
Mhm.
it looked like, oh no, I don't want to download it. Ugh, okay. The first page is the case brief, like the case facts. So I
Mhm.
copied and pasted the case facts
I
from,
did too.
yeah, and then it said I had 70% plagiarism because I did that.
Well,
Mm.
I appreciate they don't want us, they want us to live the honor code, and I appreciate that we need to not plagiarize, but we're researching and using from the textbook or whatever week's learning we had concepts that are not our own, that are the law. I don't know how you don't copy and paste, and I mean I mean we need to footnote and quote and do all that appropriately, but these are not our own words. I mean, there's some of our own words, of course, but we're learning the law. And so of course we're going to copy and paste as we learn it.
Normally with plagiarism, most professors are like they accept plagiarism to a certain percentage because it's like, oh, of course you got this from the book. Like
You don't know
where
this.
else would you get it?
Yeah.
But the plagiarism thing is like it's graded electronically. Like
Yeah.
and so I'm sure that when Scott or our teacher actually reads it, they'll be like, oh, it's fine. Whereas mine's like the whole first page is plagiarized.
Yeah, mine is too. I just copied the entire thing because
So did I.
why would I
still have-
rewrite that? It's been like, but
Okay.
I guess we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
All
Well,
right. So our assigned topic was duress. I think I'm saying that right. Duress.
Yep. Duress.
Have you guys taken the quiz yet? A
Oh,
little.
Which one?
It's due tonight. It's like the little study group quiz where
Oh,
you
yeah.
do it. You like talk about your topic and you use your example first.
Mhm.
I took it, and so I guess I can share my example or at least my understanding. And I'm kind of afraid because I feel like I understood this really well, and I feel like I shouldn't have. Like I feel like there's more to it.
Right.
But duress sounded to me like just like threat and violence. And like the first thing that came to my mind was that the typical like, give me all your money or I'm gonna beat you up. Like it's a threat that like ends in violence or has like violent connotations to it. So my example was like, give me all your money or I'm gonna beat you up. But I'm like afraid, like I feel like that's so simple that I'm like kind of afraid that there's more to
There
it.
is more to it. But that is one version. So that is like physical duress. And
Okay.
if that happens, then the contract is completely void. It never happened in court.
Mhm.
But there are also like mental and economic duress. And so my example was Fred works for Amanda. He wants a higher salary. First, he tries by just asking, but Amanda says no. Next, he decides to say that if she does not give him the raise that he is asking for, he will sue her for negligence in the workplace, even though there's never been any negligence.
And that would just be just a verbal threat.
Yeah, so that one would be like mental duress. And
So it
then
doesn't always end in violence.
no, the
Okay.
ones that are physical, those are just automatically void. But the mental ones, those aren't automatically void. They can be voidable though.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. See, I knew it. I was missing something. I was like, this is too simple.
I watched a video on it. So
I've been watching those YouTube videos. They're great, more or less.
yeah, the ones for this week that he posted, I'm just like, "Meh." I'll go find my own.
Yeah.
I haven't watched the ones that he posted yet.
Could we just go through what is required of us this week? Because I always sort of need that another set of eyes helping me get on the right track. I feel like I'm more on top of things today than I have been in the past. So there's that quiz, the review quiz.
Yeah, but you don't have to take that until the end of the week.
Okay.
I think it's put at the top so that he helps
Yeah.
everyone kind of see like, okay, this is the end of the week. This is what you have to do. So like make sure
Okay.
that you're doing readings and all that.
And then
So then next we have all the study material.
right.
And then we have our week 4 study group, which we're doing right now.
Mhm.
Or sorry, our week 4 preparation for the study group, which that one has the link to the little study group like pre-quiz.
Which is tells us we're doing duress.
Yeah. So our
Mhm.
topic for today is duress, and then it'll have you answer that little quiz that's like, did you do the reading? Yes. And then what's your example?
And
then
technically, we're supposed to do that before our meeting. So
Mhm.
It's my goal for next week to be ready when you are.
Because we're supposed to put our examples that we put in the quiz as like
Okay.
that's the examples that we have on our the little
Mhm.
test we make.
Okay. And then we're not doing week 3 group presentation. That's not us.
No, we're week
Week-
5,
yeah,
but we need to talk about it. Well, we're not in week 3 anymore. We're in week 5. So week 3
We're-
was last week.
Oh,
we're
sorry.
in week
We're in
4.
week 4. Sorry.
Sorry. Yeah. Right.
So we didn't do week 3's group presentation. We're not doing week 4. We're next week.
Okay.
And next week is the case presentation for Parker versus the 20th Century Fox.
Mhm.
I watched the video. I just watched one of the videos of another group. They did a great job on it, I thought.
Mhm.
Yeah. And then, of course, it's the amicus.
Mhm.
And then
And-
you can appeal your exam.
Mhm.
Yep. And
And then the accountability.
quiz.
It doesn't sound like much compared to some of my other classes, and yet it's so much.
Well, it's because you're reading like at least 40 pages a week.
Yeah, it's a lot.
And not just reading it, but like deep reading it.
You're
with
understanding
vocabulary
it.
you've never heard of, I've never heard of before.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this class is just like, this is one of those things that I'm like grateful for the father that I have, because I'll read things and I'll be like, okay, because like I've heard it so many times from my dad
Right.
Mhm.
that yeah, I normally just like highlight the book and then I click speech so
Yeah.
that it will get to me.
How freaking Luya for that.
'Cause then I can follow along better and I won't get distracted.
Okay, well, I appreciate you reviewing with me. I understand. So it would have been better had I done the quiz and came with my own answer of duress this week. That's
Mhm.
what I should have done.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay. We don't use all 3 examples. We normally just pick one. And so far it's been Courtney's because she has the best examples.
Well, because she's a rock star.
Yeah.
That's because I watched the videos and they helped me
Just watch the
understand.
videos. So for our little study group template, we have the same thing. So our assigned topic is duress, our example. It's still a quiz question, and then 1 right answer, 3 wrong answers, and then the feedback for why they're wrong and why they're right.
Mhm.
Oh, yes, I remember this class now.
Mhm. Okay, so which example do you guys want to use? Do you guys want to make a new one, or do you want to use one that we've already talked about?
Doesn't matter to me. Both of our examples work. They're just different types of duress. So
Different. So yours is emotional and mine is physical.
mhm.
Okay. Stacy, do you have any preference?
I don't have a preference.
Okay.
I'm just Googling quick and trying to, find something. Duress is based on criminal law? Or does it matter? Is it civil or criminal, or does that have no bearing on it?
Right now, it doesn't really matter because we're just deciding it. Duress is like a defense of breaking a contract.
Okay,
And so that's kind of how we're discussing it right now.
Okay.
Because if you're under duress when you form this contract, then it's not an actual meeting of the minds, and so it could never have been a contract.
okay. So there's a physical duress
Mhm.
and an emotional duress.
I would probably say like emotional / mental.
Sure.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a little bit more.
Yeah, sure.
Explains this a little bit more.
I'm happy to just use the one Courtney has or Catherine has. It doesn't matter to me.
Nope, Courtney is the winner. She always has the best ones.
Good. Courtney's the winner.
Okay, I have it up and I can just copy and paste it into the
Okay.
and I can share my screen so you guys can see. Give me 1 second. I always click the wrong button. Okay, there we go.
And do we all turn this in?
No,
So
it says
only one person has to turn it in,
Okay.
so I can
Okay.
turn it in this week where it's on my computer.
Courtney, do you have a YouTube to upload it to?
I do have YouTube. It's not like a set aside specifically for school, but I have
Okay.
YouTube, so
Okay,
it
sounds good.
works. So we need to have an explanation of our example.
I would put in the explanation that this one is a specific example of emotional / mental. Just because I'm sure, well, I mean, I might be the only one that was like, oh, violence, physical. But there's obviously more than that.
Any other?
Would this also be a form of manipulation? No, because manipulation gets the other person to do it. Or would it be?
Yeah. So this is an intentional infliction of emotional distress?
Yes.
Okay.
There's this guy that I really like. He explains things really well.
Yeah, let's hook up with your YouTube friends.
Let's see. It's this guy right here.
Attica?
But not all of his videos are on here because he has like this thing where you have to pay to watch his
Sure.
videos.
Oh yeah.
And this one's like a preview, but it covered duress. And so he said, so duress is an improper threat that leaves I don't remember what this abbreviation stands for.
So you mean like it's improper as in it's not like written down, it's like not.
Well, it's something that a normal person shouldn't be doing. Like
Gotcha.
improper would be like, oh, it's like blackmail. I'm
So
gonna.
So it is it's semi manipulative.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So he says that it could be a threat of a crime or a tort. Like the way he explained it was, you need to sign this paper or else this is going to happen. So
Courtney, I just thought of something. Is the test, is it a practice what's it called? Proctorial?
No.
Okay. Good, because I have construction today. And it like I'm gonna take the test in my room and there's gonna be so much banging and I don't want to get marked down for that.
Nope, no proctor. So you're good.
Okay.
But yeah, that was his definition. He explains things really well.
Okay.
And so
I'll look it up.
anyway,
Thank you for sharing that, Courtney.
yeah, side tangent. But yeah. So Amanda was never going to Does that make sense?
Mhm.
So what do we want to do for our quiz question?
Let's see.
We could ask, like, because we're supposed to use the example, we could ask what type of duress it is.
So
And go ahead.
go ahead. We have physical and an economic duress also, I guess. Is
Yeah,
that
there's economic as well. So economic is like, he explained economic in that video, but he said something like, if a bank is giving payments to a small business and they find out that these payments are what are keeping the business alive, and they go back and say, hey, we'll keep making these payments if you agree to raise the interest, and they don't have any choice. And so because that's the only way their business is surviving is by through those payments. And so that would be an example of economic duress.
Let's use this example and we can say for like the trick questions, we can say like, this is an example of economic duress because, what's his name? Fred's house is going to be foreclosed on and he needs the raise.
Mhm.
okay?
So we could use that as a little fake out.
Sure.
I
Because
like that.
that's not what economic duress is.
So another thought is, we could ask if it was if it's either void or voidable, because only the physical duress is void. Does that make sense?
Oh, like it voids the contract?
Mhm.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So the rest of them are voidable, but the physical duress acts like there was never a contract. In a court of law, it never happens in their eyes, and so
Let's establish the correct answer first because we don't want to have like 3 correct
Love
answers,
that.
one
Love
wrong
that.
answer. So,
so
do we want it to be about which duress it is, or do we want it to be, is it voidable? We could do either one. Doesn't matter.
we could probably get more answers out of it if we, well, yeah, we could do either or.
I personally think that it would help us learn and also be beneficial to make it be about the different types of duress.
Okay.
Because I could see that being a test question in the future of it being like what type of duress this is, or having a question that's like, because
Well,
I feel
we
oh
could
sorry.
actually combine it and do both.
Okay, let's do that.
And which type of duress is this, and is it void or voidable?
Oh yeah, let's do that. Let's do that.
That's a great question.
You're putting it on our example. You're typing in the example section.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
See, it's when you're the writer, it's like you're so confident, and then when you're like the looker, you're like, that's wrong. just to make the question a little bit easier, I would maybe say which type of duress is this and is it voidable? Because then your answer would be yes, it is voidable, or no, it is not voidable. Because then it takes out some of the wording. You know how you read questions sometimes and you're like, well, it's so many words.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so then our correct answer would be no, it's not voidable.
Well, it is voidable. It just wouldn't be void.
Void.
Yeah.
Voidable. So void is only when it's physical.
Mhm.
Okay.
What, Sam? Okay, I'll have her take care of it later. You just use the potty. Sorry.
You're fine.
um,
I just need a little clarification. I know we talked about physical and emotional mental duress. As I'm quickly trying to catch up, I'm seeing economic and physical, just two kinds. How many kinds of duress are there?
as far as I know, there's only 3:
So that would be,
economic, emotional/mental, and physical.
okay,
Trying to think. I know where the specific page is in the book.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking now too, and now I see physical and economic.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Let me.
I have to, I found myself as I'm searching, have to be very careful because I live in Canada.
I don't think it's duress. I think it's emotional distress.
Okay,
I think that even though it is a threat, I think that looking at this example, hang on, this would be, I don't know, maybe we're thinking physical too much in a violent sense, whereas like this would just be, oh my gosh, I don't know. Now I'm confused.
Okay, I'm pulling up the book really fast. I just don't remember which page it's on.
Oh, I see it. Yeah, in the book it says duress is a coercion, either physical or mental, that
Yeah.
deprives a person of free will and leaves that person with no reasonable alternative other than a fact. Oh my gosh, I can't read. Other than to accept the contract terms. So yes, it is, but I don't know why. 5 kinds of threats are considered duress. Okay, so there's a threat of physical violence, of criminal prosecution, the threat of a lawsuit, threat of personal or family social disgrace, and then there's a threat of economic loss. So all in all, there's multiple different kinds of duress. But if
Mhm.
you're going to say that there's only 2, then it would be either physical or mental, because I would say that economic would also be under mental, because anything like if all of a
Yeah.
sudden you can't pay your bills, like, oh my gosh, that's so stressful.
Mhm.
Like that would be like a very like mental emotional response.
Yeah.
yep,
Does that make sense?
thanks for
definitely.
clarifying that.
And that is, I don't know what page it's on, but if you just go to the table of contents and type in duress to the book, it will bring you to that section.
Anyway. Okay, so we would call it just mental duress instead of emotional/mental.
Yeah, I would say mental.
Not mental?
That's what the book says. The book says mental.
Oh, okay. So we just get rid of the emotional and say this is mental duress and is voidable.
Yeah, the book says
Okay.
physical or mental, so I would just put mental.
Perfect. So
Courtney, did he use it like the questions that we sent on the test?
I cannot say that.
You can't say that. I was wondering if he would, because I was thinking, I was like, I wonder if these questions are questions that he put on the test. Because
Yeah, I can't.
if I was a professor, I totally would, because I'd be like, "Well, writing my test for me."
See, I think the test has been written up years ago and it's the same test. They just keep recycling it.
No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't, because have you guys ever heard of like that Quizlet? Like you can use it to study, but a lot of people post test answers there. And if he's saying open internet, then that means he changes it every year for sure, which is good, because then it's very then he knows
Yeah,
what students
I
actually
can't say anything about the questions or anything like that. So
yeah. I have my suspicions. Okay. So mental duress and it is voidable. Okay, so then the correct answer feedback would
it would
be
be
yes,
uh,
this is mental distress.
mm,
I would say something along the lines of like it's mental distress because it puts her in a position that like obviously people have emotions. Like you
even
can't just not have emotions. So it puts her in a position where like she has to really separate her emotions and what she needs to do for the company. She doesn't want to have, I don't know, this is a hard one. I feel like if someone came to me and was like, I need more money, I'd be like, well, let's look and see how you've been doing
yeah.
and like go over their numbers or like how they've been in the company.
How does this sound?
So what do you mean, even though it is not true?
Because there has never been negligence in the workplace.
Oh,
He's
okay. I see what
just
you're saying.
threatening her that he's going to
Okay.
um
Yeah. I get that. Reading just that, I was like, oh, I don't know what you're talking about, because it sounds like, yes, this is mental distress, but that's not
mhm,
true.
mhm.
So but now I get what you're saying. Okay.
So for the here, I finally found it in the book. Um for if it wants to load now.
I didn't get the Kindle version. I just got the link and I regret it
Uh-huh.
because mine doesn't have page numbers. So I can never like write down what page number it was on.
Mine has the page numbers right
Mhm.
down there. It's so nice. Okay, so um right here is talking about
Mhm.
how it's void or voidable. So the contract at Going Point is physical and it's void because there was no mental condition ever. And then the typical case of duress arises out of mental coercion and it is voidable. So I don't completely get the difference between void and voidable, but
I
um,
think that, and might be really incorrect, but just as I'm like trying to understand it better, void is like, yeah, that's going to be voided, no question about it. And voidable, I feel like there is a little bit of a gray area around it where it's like, yeah, it could be, but also could not be.
it has to be proven. So like with physical, I mean, it's just like, yeah, of course they're under duress, their life is in danger.
Mhm.
With mental, you have to prove that it was duress, I guess.
Yeah.
But the void
This,
and
but this is a new section, right? Like this is not going to be on the test because this is part of this second study guide, right?
This is
correct.
part of unit 2.
Okay, good. Because in my mind, I'm like, I don't have enough time to grasp all this information.
And this test, this is why I want to work on our case, is this test for this is next week.
is when?
We have
Yeah, this
unit
unit is really small. I noticed
unit
that.
2 is next week. Yeah, it's only 2 weeks.
Gotcha.
So
But it's not, I think that the study guide is, I was looking at it this morning, it's either smaller or it doesn't cover as many sections.
Yeah.
Courtney, I would put mental duress, not mental distress
I have duress.
in the correct answer. This is mental distress.
Oh,
Mental
thank
duress.
you.
Okay. So a wrong answer would be no, this is economic distress because
because he wants money
he needs money because
to
something
pay
in his
for his
personal life.
house.
Yeah, something like that. One piece of advice that I have for you guys doing the appeals is I had at least in the class that I did, you could literally appeal anything. So like you could say like, oh, there should have been a comma in this question and there wasn't, and therefore the grammar was incorrect and I couldn't understand the question properly.
My
And so the
gosh.
answer, like the answers didn't line up
Wow.
with the question. Or you can really look at all the information in the question, and then you can always say like, I'm actually doing it with one of my test questions right now in another class, saying like there wasn't enough information, like back end information, to say that this is the right answer and this is why. So literally look at everything for your appeals because you can find a flaw somewhere.
I'm trying to think how to word this. I know how it's working in my brain, but I don't know how to word it.
Just say no. Or just say this is not correct because Fred. Well, just say this is not correct
Fred
because
is the one who was
just say
creating
this
the
has nothing to
duress.
do with economic duress because no one's forcing him or like it doesn't. That's not what economic duress is. So just say no. This is not economic duress. It's not what economic duress is. Yeah, sucks that he can't pay for his house, but that's not. Yeah. Okay, wrong answer, number 2.
Oh shoot, we forgot to put there. Okay. We could put one that is
Void.
that it's mental duress, but it's void.
Okay. my gosh, I'm so nervous about this. I keep saying the only thing I have due today is this exam, and I'm like, did you take it yesterday?
I took it on Saturday.
Oh, wow. Look at you.
You.
Good job.
I had studied and I know I could use my study guide and all that. I'm just like, I'm just psyching myself out. I just need to take
I
it.
know.
That's good. I always do it like the last day. And I don't know why I wait that long, but I do. I'm never the kind of person that's like, oh, I'll take it early.
Well, my husband was home and he's like, well, because I was procrastinating that day. He was like, I don't feel good and all this stuff. And he's like, just take your test. Okay.
Did your baby just take your test?
And then should we do what? It wouldn't be physical. What do we want for our last wrong answer? Do I need to zoom in? Is it too small?
It's
Sorry,
okay.
I'm like squinching up to my computer. I see some dots underneath, and I'm wondering if the
okay.
grammar is incorrect. Like
Back
what
up,
part of it?
please.
Mental duress is avoidable, and there we go. Okay, so last one.
It's so hard for me to think about the right or wrong or a question right now.
You could just say, this is like such a dumb one, but you could just say it's voidable because it's duress. Like that would be like, obviously you did not study, obviously you have no idea what.
Well, obviously you didn't read the
Voidable.
question right
Yeah.
because it asked for the type.
Yeah. Wrong answer feedback. Just read the question. For the feedback, I would just say like the question asks for what type and if it is void or voidable. Or sorry, if it's voidable. There we go.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, there's that. Did you guys read the case?
For our case?
Yeah, the Parker versus Fox.
No, I haven't read that one yet.
I haven't read it either. I had like that mini panic where I thought we were supposed to do the Midler one, and so I read that one. But
I might have read it, but I don't remember it now.
Here, I can play a video really fast.
Okay.
Because I found some last night and okay, so this one explains it pretty well.
This is the Shirley MacLaine one?
Are we supposed to know how this ends,
Okay.
or are we supposed
I did read it.
to say what we think will happen?
That is for the amicus brief. For this one, we have to say what actually happened. And in the case, I didn't actually find where they said what the outcome was. And so that's why I came and watched these videos, because I was like, hello.
Do we do the brief first then and then find out what happened, or does it not matter?
It doesn't matter, I don't think.
Okay.
Because with the brief, we're not saying what happened. We're saying which side we agree with and how the law supports the way we believe.
Okay. I'm ready to learn.
Okay. Oh. Sorry, it's playing in my headphones, not. Let me turn those off really fast.
Would you be able to turn the volume up on the YouTube next to the play fast forward button in the left corner of the box, the black box? It says that the volume is down.
Thanks, baby. How you doing? Yeah.
I'm really good at this. Okay.
So if you're
Now
looking at
it's
the
saying
book,
that my speaker's not working.
oh.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop
If you
sharing my
want to
screen for
just
good.
copy and paste the link in the
Oh,
chat,
it's right here.
then we can look at it on our computers.
Okay. Okay. So we may not have audio on our meeting. Sorry, I didn't know that having my headphones in would do that. Anyways, here's the video.
Fine.
A Hollywood legend. She's been nominated for 6 Oscars and won Best Actress for her 1983 performance in Terms of Endearment. But one of her lesser-known accomplishments happened in Parker versus 20th Century Fox Film Corporation, when she helped clarify the legal principle of mitigation of damages. In 1965, 20th Century Fox, a Hollywood movie studio, signed a contract with MacLaine. For $750,000, she was to star in a song and dance musical film called Bloomer Girl. The contract also gave her script approval and the right to approve the director. But the studio decided to cancel that project and instead offered MacLaine the female lead in a Western-type drama called Big Country, Big Men. MacLaine rejected the offer. Under her legal name, Shirley MacLaine Parker, she then sued the studio for the $750,000 due under the Bloomer Girl contract. In its answer, the studio admitted it breached the Bloomer Girl agreement, but it argued that it didn't owe MacLaine anything because she had rejected its substitute offer for Big Country, Big Men at the same salary. MacLaine sought summary judgment, arguing that the studio admitted it breached the contract and couldn't raise a genuine issue of material fact regarding any defense. The trial court granted MacLaine's motion and awarded her the full contract amount. The studio then appealed to the California Supreme Court.
So that's kind of what happened. One of the reasons that they ruled with Parker is because in her one of the reasons why she declined the contract for the Western is, for one, it's completely different and she was known for singing and all that, but two, in her original
Musical.
contract for the musical, she was able to like pick the director and all of that, and she didn't get that for the Western because there wasn't enough time to do it because it was such late notice and all that. And so she didn't have as much control over the movie, and it was the filming for Bloomer Girl was going to be in LA, where the filming for the Western was in
Australia.
Australia. Yeah. And so those are kind of some of the things that led up to her winning the case. And of course, they broke
sorry.
contract. Go ahead.
This is our week 5 assignment, our study group assignment that we're videotaping and sharing with everybody early next week. That's right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so we're supposed to, like, a lot of people have been doing slideshow presentations.
Right?
We're supposed to do something creative.
Yeah, if
Creative.
you looked at the video, I think that the video was some like it looked like little clay people. Like, do you know what I'm talking about? The little clay people.
Animation.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it looked like that. And I mean, I don't have that. And also, I have 20% of my things because everything is being moved right now.
Yeah. But they said we could do puppet shows and stuff. I saw on YouTube someone was using a Pokemon to stand in place of people. So, you know.
Well, Courtney, if you find something that you think is good, let's take a look at it.
Well,
I think
I
we
haven't
need
watched
a
all
few
of
days
them.
to look at the case, if that's okay, before we like.
Yeah. Can I just know exactly when we have to have this submitted?
I
What?
would say let's try to aim to have it done by Monday because it's due, I think Tuesday or Wednesday, but I'd rather have it done because we have a study group again every week.
Right.
Yeah, we do.
So, sorry, go ahead.
It's due on the 22nd. So that would be, I think it's Saturday.
Oh, is it? Why do
So
I-
that sort of seems like
Yeah.
10 days, like,
That's Saturday.
Oh,
so
yeah, it's Saturday. I
two
thought it
weeks.
was Wednesday. No, that's something.
Okay, so we've got a bit of time on this.
Mhm.
Yeah, I just think it would be good to be thinking about how we want to present it.
Love it. Well, and what specifically of the case are we going to, like,
So I
Right.
think what we need to do is I think that everyone needs to review the case. We need to have our group study next week. And then I think we need to meet again to
Mhm.
do a presentation.
yeah,
But we can either meet again this week to start the presentation and then meet again next week, like meet twice a week, this week and next week, so that we
Sure.
can start the presentation and
Yeah.
finish it. Or we can just meet once and just do it in that
Yeah.
meeting.
sounds good to me.
Here are the instructions.
Mhm.
So we're just supposed to identify our week, read the case, create a presentation. But he said that we should be creative, and so I'm just like, I have
We-
no idea what to do. But
We can find something. I'll look and see if I can find something to use. Everyone look and think with your creative brain while you're studying the case and think like, what can I use? What can we do instead of
we could do like a stop motion.
we could, but the only thing is that we're not all together. So it
Yeah.
literally is gonna fall on one person.
Well,
And-
Courtney is our media specialist. Is that right?
Yeah, but
What is your
I don't-
major again? Web media?
No, I'm getting my bachelor's in professional studies, and my certificates are administrative assistant, basic accounting, and graphic design. So,
I would say that whatever we do, either it needs to be we can do a like a slideshow presentation that's not very creative,
mhm.
but I personally wouldn't want to say like, oh, we're gonna do this and only one person's gonna do it because we're not
Yeah.
all together.
Yeah.
So
And we have to also include a gospel lesson or principle that can help us better understand the case. So
Mhm.
be thinking of that. But yeah.
Okay.
So when do you guys want to meet to do that?
Let me look. Do you guys want to meet twice? Do you want to meet this week and next week for it? Like to start it and finish it?
I think
Or-
that's the best.
Okay. So I can meet, sorry, I'm looking at my schedule. I can meet, so I can meet this Friday, anytime on Friday.
Mhm.
And then, oh man, I don't have my schedule for next week yet. Okay, so I can meet this Friday, anytime on Friday. I can meet on Thursday, anytime before 5 p.m. or 4 p.m. Idaho time. And I can meet on Saturday in the morning between like literally 8 or 9 in the morning would probably be when I could do Saturday. So Thursday or Friday is best for me. But
I'm open. Saturday, my family and I are going to go biking, so I don't know when
It's
exactly.
tough to meet on Saturday, I think.
Yeah.
so maybe Friday, does that work?
Friday's
I'm
great for
fine.
me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there a specific time that you guys want to meet up?
We can just do it in the morning again. Do you guys just want to do that?
Okay.
9. Stacey, what
9,
time is it in Canada?
I'm on Idaho time.
Oh, okay. Okay, so 10 your time, 9 my time.
Okay,
Sounds good to me.
Okay, perfect. Okay, Friday at 10 for the case study.
I'm gonna come ready with a game plan and assignments done, and you're gonna be excited.
You
Guys,
got
my
this,
name-
Stacy.
My name is in this court case with Burke J with Macomb. They're just missing the S, which I think people think is optional, and it's not optional. It's part of my last name. With Macomb. Ooh, I wonder if I'm related to that person. Okay, sounds good. Did we get the whole worksheet filled out?
I think so. Let me double check, but
Thanks for just handling that again, Courtney.
not a big deal. Easy
I appreciate
peasy.
you giving me some heads up on your law videos. I took down notes on who was the producer of them, and I'm looking forward to studying my YouTube law this afternoon.
Well, I watch all different ones, but he's definitely my favorite. So, yeah, it looks like the whole worksheet is done, and I will save it and submit it.
Thank
Okay.
you so much.
So,
And then it just needs the link of our video too.
yeah, hopefully he probably won't have the sound of your guys' voices for most of it.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
well,
Didn't think about that, but
That's okay.
technology gets the better of me sometimes.
Me too.
all
I'm
of
not
it.
a technology person at all.
That's my husband. He's going into what is it? He was doing computer science, but now he's doing data analysis. And so he knows all about.
Yeah, my boyfriend's doing computer science, and oh my gosh, his homework the other day was to defuse a bomb. And like anytime the bomb went off, they lost 10 points on the assignment. And I was like, this sounds terrible.
Wow. No, thank you.
I know, right? And he was like, it exploded. And he was like, well, now I can only get a B. And I was like, oh my gosh. But anyways, okay.
Okay.
Everyone's good?
Yep.
Thank
I
you
will see
guys. Have a great
later.
week. Good luck.
Good luck
your
on
exam.
your test, Stacy. Good job on your test, Courtney.
It's gonna be great.
And good
See
luck.
ya.
Okay, see ya.
Okay. Bye.